What is going on? You are listening to episode 228 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh. I just took a breath. Player 2, Hate Zero, what's up?
What's going on? What is up, NPC fam? It is your boy, Hate Zero, your hero.
Nightcrawler, what's happening?
Hey, how's it going? I still need to work on what I'm working on.
That was the most enthusiasm you've ever had.
We got
we've been warmed up and we've been talking back and forth for a little bit. But yeah, I know.
Progress.
Hate's homework was that I needed to come up with a better.
That was better. I mean, we'll give you that same homework, but it was better.
Good news. The recording's not working right, so we get to do it a second time. No, I'm just joking. I'm just kidding. Guys,
it wouldn't be the first time.
That's true. The music video series from On Being Human, you can check them out on Spotify and YouTube. They've also got their own podcast where they eat snacks. It's kind of fun. This is an unofficial Nintendo podcast, and if you'd like to get yourself a free book from Audible, head on over to audibletrial.com/NPC. Pick up any book you want. Anything.
Harry Potter.
Pixels.
Harry Potter, Josh.
Harry, well, if that's your thing, go for it. Yeah. There you go. audibletrial.com/NPC. Chair, I'm sitting in from OP Seat. N64josh.com/OP Seat. That's the link. That'll automatically save you $10 at checkout. They got new styles, new look. It's pretty good. It's pretty cool. Go check it out. Lastly, I've got music that I'm working on. Okay? I decided that, hey, you know what? I'm not creating enough content. Let's start something else. So I'm just writing songs and putting them out. Yesterday we did a music stream. That was a lot of fun. Albeit a little creepy at some points, but fun. And yeah.
Can you explain that for those listeners who don't go on Twitch?
Yes. Okay. All right. So the trailer for Top Gun 2 came out yesterday. And somebody came into chat, Jimmy Pike came into chat and was very excited about Top Gun. He's the biggest Top Gun fan I know. So I had my guitar in hand and we had to bust out Take My Breath Away, right?
Some Berlin,
but
yeah.
Then somebody was like, hey, could you look into my soul when you sing that? And so I did the close-up of my eyes into the camera. There's a 5-second clip if you want to see it.
And the numbers dropped.
And the viewer count. Somebody was happy that I did it. I don't remember who. Maybe Patrick Murphy probably was happy about it.
I'm sure somebody made clips out of it too.
Oh yeah, it's there. So, but we did all kinds of stuff. We did Linkin Park covers. We did Dean Lewis. I mean, pretty like Data Remember. Like we just played Jimmy Eat World, a bunch of other stuff. So I'm currently working on a project. It is called Until Today. It's got a YouTube channel, it's got Instagram, it's got Twitter, it's got Facebook, it's got SoundCloud. If you want to hear the stuff I'm doing, go check it out. I'd really, really appreciate it. If you could share it, if you like it, that would be amazing. Amazing. On vacation, my goal is to do a 5-song EP while I'm on vacation. I'm going to try to basically write a song a day. That's what I'm going to do. I got a little iRig that I'm going to set up and record everything with my iPad. And so
nice.
Yeah, just be strictly acoustic and my voice. That's it. So hopefully it'll be fun. And who knows, you guys, Mr. Eric over here does a little bit of rapping. So
that's true.
There may be some kind of collabs. And if you,
we can do our own Linkin Park.
There you go. I was actually working on a version of In the End today, but there's no rapping and I just sang the whole thing. So it was a little different. But yeah, so that's what I'm working on. We'll get into the announcements because I got some more to share with you guys. So here we go.
Hey, listen.
Okay, well, listen. Yeah, the announcements. The Super Mario Maker podcast is just going to take a little break. The next 2 weeks, I go on vacation next week, okay? I think this show, I'm going to dial it back to one episode for a little bit because I am in the middle of a little bit of gaming burnout. I'm just kind of burnt out a little bit. Right? And I don't want to get to the point to where I get salty. I don't want to stop doing this. I love it too much, but I got to recharge the batteries. So there's still going to be an episode next week. It's going to be short and sweet, but there'll be something in the feed. And I'm just I just want to recharge for a minute, kind of focus on myself a little bit And the other thing is I kind of like, last night was like the first time in a very, very long time that I just played a video game without like streaming or making a YouTube video out of it. And I just played a little bit of Halo, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So I'm excited for this my week of vacation. I'm going to be playing a lot of Marvel Ultimate Alliance, some Fire Emblem, and a lot of Mario Maker. And I'm just going to be enjoying games. I'm just going to be relaxing. Okay. So I'm just going to dial things back a little bit on the gaming front. Once I get back from vacation, there's still going to be regular YouTube videos. We'll still do the podcast at least once a week for sure. It may turn into more. I have a few interviews already lined up. A couple gals that have worked the Nintendo booths are going to be coming on the show. I talked to one of them today. And so yeah, there's still plenty in the coming down the pipeline. But I think it's, I mean, we're at 2.5 years. I don't know that I've missed a week of this show. I think maybe 1 week.
There was 1 week that you missed.
Of course, Eric's like, nope, you did it.
So, but I think that was it. Just one, right?
Yeah. It was when you were on vacation, and it was the show Dust to Not Quit.
Oh no, I did shows that week. I interviewed my family.
Oh, that's
there's
right.
There's stuff in the feed.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Then you know what? You didn't miss a.
I don't think I've missed a week. So,
Yeah.
that's, I mean, and look, some weeks I've done like 5 episodes even, depending on like how crazy the weekends get, right? So
yeah, those developer interviews and all sorts of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I just wanna recoup a little bit, kind of just catch up, right? I see chat saying good for me, like that's what so yeah, I think it's gonna be good, because like I've created content for long enough that like with other games and things like that, where you start to burn out, you start to get salty, and then you start to watch the downloads drop because people can tell you're salty, and then you get more frustrated as the creator because you're like, what is going on? Why is and so I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna recharge a bit, and Cryptic in chat says, seeing how it took you 20 years to beat Mario 64, maybe you should just relax and play games and beat them. Right. Yeah, I have a massive backlog, right? So
have you beaten Banjo-Kazooie?
No. What?
He doesn't beat games, but that'll change. And you know what? Good for you, Josh. You should definitely take that. The show will be there. We can still put together great episodes weekly. And who knows, maybe our episodes now will be more action packed and jam full of information, with dropping the NPC to one show a week for a while. So I think it'll be fun. Quality over quantity, right?
Exactly that. And the other thing is, like, I just want to make sure my heart's in it, right? For like I said. But the other thing too is, like, we might even, like, tonight's gonna be a little bit different on this show. We're going to do more like a roundtable discussion, just talking about the game. We have a few news things we're going to catch, but like for the most part, like, I think because there's 3 of us here, we can kind of just roundtable this stuff, and maybe it'll be like just maybe the little mix up will be a nice change of pace, because there can be times where it's like, we just read the news and there's not a whole lot to say about it, or it's just, whatever the case is. So I just want to keep things fresh, keep things moving. So we'll see. With that, we do have just a few news things, and Crawler is going to hook us up with that. So here we go.
All right, so we had Splatfest this last weekend. I played. Did any of you play? I know Josh was kind of in a cave making music this weekend, right?
Nope, I didn't. I was all South Park. Any gaming I did.
I played 0 games. I literally had a guitar in my hand.
I think I was playing last night, and I clicked on friends and looked at yours, and it was like offline for 3 days. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, my Switch was
online
actually
3 days ago.
Yeah, and that was Crash Team Racing was the last game
really?
I had played.
I want to go back to that. I need to go back to that because the story mode in that was kind of fun.
Yeah. Supposedly
Diddy Kong Racing-esque.
the update has halved the loading times. Halved
Interesting.
the loading time.
It's still atrocious.
Well, instead of like 43 seconds, it's only 26 or something. So
What?
yeah.
Okay. So Splatoon, we had Final Fest, I think is what they called it. It was the final Splatfest. It was 3 days worldwide Splatfest. It ended, I think, on Sunday, 9 a.m. Pacific, I believe, is when it ended, or maybe a little bit earlier than that. But Team Chaos, aka Pearl, took it 3-0, and that was the final thing there. But leading forward, that was the last one. You get a special shirt when you do Splatfest, and they are going to be having that. I don't know if it's going to be, according to this, I don't know if it's free or it's going to be available to purchase after the 5.0 update hits in late July, which got less than a week or so of that remaining. So sometime soon. Usually, I think updates come out on Wednesday, so maybe the very last day of July next week we'll get that. So it's going to be a Splatfest T replica, and it's going to have the ability doubler, which is cool. So maybe it'll be cheap. Maybe it'll be cheaper to scrub your gear. That'd be cool. I don't know, but there's not a lot of details on that. But then I do think I remember, it's not in this article that I have, but I think I did see something as well in the 5.0 update is going to have the option. I believe it's only for private matches, but you can have access to all the different shifty stations that they've had across the 2 years or whatever of Splatoon. So that'll be really cool for custom matches to be able to go in and play the shifty stations, because some of those are really, really cool designs and fun bottlenecks in different ways. The stage, like there was one that was like a rolling platform that it put it in a room that you couldn't touch anymore, so it was like a fight to paint it before it went away. And so there's some fun shifty stations, so I think that'll add some life to private matches, at least in this game, which is good moving forward.
The two that stick out the most to me were the Ninja Turtles one and the chicken and the egg one. Those two shifty stations were really quite fun. Like really, I think the chicken and the egg one, they had the thing in the center that dropped
the
down.
Dome that came down.
Yeah, so you had to get it covered.
The last 30 seconds it locked you in the dome or whatever,
Yeah.
and you got to paint.
Yeah, so the only thing that I feel like is kind of a little bit of a missed opportunity that I wish they would re-release all of the T-shirts that would, because I'd love to run around with Ninja Turtles on my,
Yeah, if you could select the logo on it, that'd be
Yeah.
really cool. Because it's going to be a replica, is what they're saying. But like, yeah, if you could select the logo that's on there, then that'd be cool.
Bring back the first game's T-shirts too, because there was Transformers.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I never had Splatoon 1.
Neither did I. I do now, but yeah, I didn't get to play it. But
so next thing moving forward, this has kind of been an issue since the kind of blew up since the Switch Lite was announced and people complaining about Joy-Con drift and Nintendo not taking notice and all that kind of stuff. But I believe it was Super Nintendo had posted this in the Discord this afternoon. This is an article from Vice saying that Nintendo's got a problem on its hands with Joy-Con drift, and customers, this is a direct quote, I don't know who it's from, but this is in the article. Customers will no longer be requested to provide proof of purchase for Joy-Con repairs. The internal customer service details say, additionally, it's not necessary to confirm warranty status if a customer requests a refund for previously paid Joy-Con repair, confirm the prior repair, and then issue a refund. So if you're out of warranty, you send in a Joy-Con back to Nintendo. You're going to be without your Joy-Con while you do that. But this is kind of Nintendo's red ring of death, it seems like.
Yeah, I don't think it's as bad as the red ring of death.
No, it's not costing them millions upon millions of dollars, right, like Red Ring of Death did.
But it's great that they're doing this. I appreciate that. I assume everyone else can appreciate that. But before you send it in, try to fix it yourself. And don't take anything apart. Under the thumbstick, right at the base, there's a little sphere, a dome. There's a rubbery flap. If you lift that flap and hit it with some contact cleaner, that has proven very successful for people. So what's going on with these Joy-Con controllers is that flap is a little bit too small. So dirt, dust, skin, all the gunk is getting into it, and it's happening to the left and not the right because you're on the left stick a lot more than you are the right. So theoretically, that will start happening to the right sticks down the road too. But hey, get it fixed permanently from Nintendo if you want to. That's gonna still cost you time. You're gonna have to send it in and not have anything to use in the meantime. If this solution fixes it for you for $4 for the contact cleaner, I mean, Google it, do it. I think it's extremely worth it. I tried it out on mine and I have no more issues.
Yeah, at least they're acknowledging it, right? I mean,
this is the first acknowledgement of it.
Because it was kind of like, okay, something's gotta give here at some point, right? So.
And I feel like they probably are just acknowledging it to kill the lawsuit. Like, good luck suing us now. We're taking care of it.
Right. Right.
I mean, that's all a lawsuit would have done anyway, is just kind of forced upon like a class action to.
No way. It would have got me my 67 cents or whatever if I.
Right. Yeah. Your $5 off coupon to buy another game.
Maybe I would have got like a glove for my hand so I don't blister when I.
Right.
You don't put a hole in your palm.
Exactly.
Yeah. Upon further research of that, they were literally weightlifting gloves. There was not a logo on it. It wasn't like something cool like that I thought would be a collector's. Like,
so it's not even a good collector's item?
No.
That's disappointing. I was hoping it was like a white Mario glove.
Nah. Nope. Nothing. Because I'm like, everybody always talks about this, and I feel like the story maybe got embellished over time. And then upon a little further research, like, there's not a whole lot to it, and I'm not even sure that many people were issued these gloves. Honestly.
I just don't know what kind of person
we were all
hurts
kids
themselves.
And my cousin, who's 10 years younger than me, literally we came to her house and she just had a giant like red spot, like the thing might have bled at one point. Like, stop playing Mario Party and heal. Like, what
was that Mario Party 3? Was that what that was?
I don't know.
I had this, Skinny. So, what kind of people here play the game in a fashion that you dictate? Like, it doesn't tell you to play that way. You choose to play that way. You hurt yourself and decide your best course of action is to sue or complain.
Well, that was pre-internet too, so it's not like there were like a whole lot of there was internet, but not as like prevalent as it is right now. So there probably weren't even like forums of how to play Mario Party the best. Like, it just
just naturally everyone kind of figured out, like, if I spin this really fast, but that
There are many loose Joy-Con or joysticks from that as well, like those joysticks in the analog sticks or whatever in the
for 64 sure. And then you have to give that one to your friends. Like, you always give that one to your friends with the like really terrible
the Mad Catz controller.
Dude, I have one that it was a total off-brand. I don't even know, like, and the top of the stick, it was threaded, so it would come off and it was just a sharp point. And that's how we like, when I purchased this thing, that's what I was given. I'm like, was this what you gave your friends right here? Was this what you gave your friends?
You have to give that to your friends. Like, that's the friend controller. Everyone has a friend controller.
That's when you get the silly putty out and you just put it on top there, and then you can just roll it around.
So I will say this about the whole Joy-Con thing, the D-pad thing. It is a little bit strange, right? That like why isn't I'm looking at the Joy-Con right now, like, why isn't this little sleeve a little bit longer, right? And why isn't the D-pad better on the Pro Controller? Like, it seems like a weird misstep for somebody that's been doing this for so long,
that owns the patent, that owns like a very clear-cut patent on it as well.
And then the other thing too, like, I remember, like, when I was at PAX talking to Xbox about the Elite controller, which even that, like, Crawler's had terrible luck with his. I have two that are just bad. The rubber grip on mine has come off, but
that's a known issue on those.
The sticks themselves, according to the rep I talked to, he's like, yeah, these things have been like, there's one just sitting in a machine just getting moved over and over and over again, like
they showed that in the video to prove it. Yeah, I mean,
right, yeah.
I will say, like, the Pro controllers that I have from Nintendo are some of the more sturdy sticks that I've ever had, like, on a controller, because I have I have probably 4 Xbox controllers, 2 of which are Elites, and the Elites are the worst out of the bunch. But even one of my other ones is not that great. Like, the problem with the Elites is it's the same crappy inside, plastic and pieces that can break and get loose that were on the regular controller and just in a fancier, heavier package. But I will say, I mean, besides the D-pad having problems and the sticks on the Joy-Con having problems, the Pro controller, minus the D-pad, I guess, with its problems, is very well built. Minus the fact that it doesn't also have. I wish it had analog triggers, and Nintendo recognized the analog inputs. So I mean, that was kind of a misstep on their part. But
there's no good reason not to have analog triggers, and that's why we'll never get great racing games on the platform.
Really responsive first-person shooters either.
And I don't want to sound like I'm defending Nintendo. I'm not on Nintendo's side with this. It's a design flaw. I just think rather than you waste weeks of your time and not be able to play a game if you only have one set of Joy-Cons, if it's something simple enough you can fix by yourself. And hey, there's the whole, well, I shouldn't have to fix it. I agree, you shouldn't have to. But if you want to continue playing, there are some options that might work for you and help you out. Again, Nintendo's wrong on this. They should have, I'm sure they quality control and they check these things, right? And they put it in, like Xbox has it in the machine that's shaking it. Problem is that machine doesn't have sweat from hands and the heat, and there's factors in there that
Cheeto dust and
there's factors that are hard to test in a perfect environment because our homes are not perfect environments. Mm-hmm. So I'm not blaming the users at all. Like, Nintendo should have protected, they should have found this. They didn't. It sounds like they're not necessarily admitting to it, but it sounds like they're righting the wrong and fixing it for anyone. But if you can fix it for yourself really quick and easy, I applaud you to look into that.
And I would say plan on 2 weeks at minimum. I think that's about how long it took me to get my Xbox back. You aren't going to get your exact Joy-Con back probably either. It's going to be somebody else's Joy-Con that they've had in the shop that they've had the time to sit and fix and repair and put a new stick on it.
Right.
And it's going to be hopefully it'll be the same color. It should be the same color, because that would be really messed up if they didn't send you the right color back.
When I set my blues in, it came back just fine. Like,
maybe I can send both of mine in so I can get one that doesn't sound, the HD rumble on mine sounds so terrible. It sounds so terrible. Thanks a lot, Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong and were you playing Golf Story with it as well?
I was, and it was fine then. But Donkey Kong, when the plane crashes, it shook it so hard that it rattled something loose.
It shook it out of his hand.
It's so bad now. It's just a metallic. I'll upload a video to Discord of the two. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah. So, and again, like, it's not that like I'm not sitting here like complaining. I'm more just surprised, right? That's what it surprises me, that a company that's been doing this for this long is like seeing these issues, right? With
a really storied history of great controllers too.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, the GameCube D-pad was left a little bit desired, but I mean, it's the Pro controller. It's like that. I love that controller so much. And I mean, look, if you want to do the mod on it with Scotch tape or those like the ring paper and reinforcement or whatever, the little for the 3-hole punch. Anytizer in chat was like, hey, these things work perfect. You just put them right over the sensor and you're good to go, And so, I mean, but it's so strange to me that this like that this gets missed, right? And I mean, and who knows? Like, it's easy for us to sit here and think like from the consumer, from Nintendo, but like there's so many factors, there's so many companies involved, there's so like the industrial design, all that kind of stuff. There's so much that we're like oblivious to, right? And so and the thing is, they didn't have Celeste when they were testing this thing, So,
yeah, you're right about that.
Or Cuphead, or any of those.
All they had was 1-2 Switch and Zelda. Like, what other games did they have to play with?
Yeah, Bomberman, I think.
Yeah.
The Troll and I shortly after,
No, and
I don't think
and I'm
anybody
sure they
tested that
tested
game.
it. I'm sure they got the Joy-Cons working on the Wii U and in their test environment and played all sorts of games with it. It's it's just one of those things. Mistakes happen, and maybe the dev kit they were using was different than the final product that got pushed from the factories. There's so many variables.
Yeah, and we know the factories were responsible for the Joy-Cons not connecting right because they forgot to put a little piece of foam near the antenna to block the signal.
Yeah.
Right.
That was when it was getting the random disconnects, or
yeah, your controller would just start moving
for the right Joy-Con.
Yeah.
Well, and they were able to fix that with firmware though too, weren't they?
I had to send mine in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I sent mine in for. Was that issue? So, I mean, good on them for trying to take care of this and stuff. I mean, it's good, because I just saw in chat like Patrick Murphy's like, I just bought my third left Joy-Con, so. And I've said it before, but like where I'm at is I hardly play with Joy-Cons. But like I'm going to be playing a lot this next week. I'll be playing handheld probably more than anything else. So
I have 3 sets, and I'm tempted to buy the new ones that they announced last week. But I don't. I want
the GameCube colors, man.
I want a double blue. They need to just do double blue instead, because I don't need just a third yellow Joy-Con. I want double blue, and then I can have fun. But then the
until then, no fun will be had. Hear this, Nintendo. There will be no fun.
Sometimes lemon lime and all sorts of fun. But like, have you seen the mock-ups that people have done of inversing the Joy-Con, putting yellow with purple and orange with blue, and it just looks so much better.
I have spent a lot of time looking at this now.
It's a conspiracy. Nintendo wants us to buy both.
Of course it is. Oh, internet, put your pitchforks away. AML Avenger says, I think the issue is the tech. In all walks of life, tech has gotten smaller, faster, lighter. When things get smaller, they become more fragile. Smaller electrical devices get hotter faster. The only way to fix this is to throw money at the issues. But when Nintendo throws money at an issue, someone has to pay it back. The Switch can't cost $600. There you go.
I mean, the Joy-Con is like nothing else we've ever seen before, right? I mean, it's 2 controllers that works in total unison as one controller.
Yeah.
Or separately as 2 separate controllers.
No one's ever done that before. It's never been done before. With innovation, you get some weird stuff, right? Like how many times did they try to create the wheel before they settled on a proper wheel and not, all the other crap they had before there? So man, we get it. It's not perfect. There's flaws. Joy-Con 2 will shore up this issue and everyone will be happy. But in the meantime, I'm glad Nintendo's taking care of it for everybody. If you're having the issue, reach out to Nintendo.
I'm sure there's processes being put forward on their website now for people to be able to get that either money. It sounds like they're going to refund money as well. So that's good.
If you paid for a repair?
Yeah, out of warranty or something like that.
And that's good. I mean, that's awesome they would do that. I think that's a step in the right direction, and
it's a way to have goodwill moving forward. I mean, that's how Xbox was able to keep the thing that they had going with the 360 moving forward, like through that life cycle, is they kept goodwill and the pitchforks didn't come out. I had 2 Red Rings of Death on different 360s I had.
I had a blue light PS4. I think that was the problem, right? Was it the blue light of death that people were getting? It was their version.
No.
I think
it was something
remember. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Hey, any innovation, any new tech, you gotta work out the kinks, right? So it's par for the course. I'm happy where I'm at with our Switches. It sounds like nobody's had major Switch hardware issues. I mean, the Joy-Cons have been the bane of Nintendo's existence so far, right? But the hardware itself.
It's good you get to keep your system at least while you're doing that. It's I mean, you can still play if you have another controller, and there's cheaper options out there that you can go buy for the time being if you need to. You just can't play Mario Party if that's your only set of Joy-Con.
Yeah.
But we don't need to play Mario Party. Astro Bears is twice the game.
I mean, when I was a kid, my Super Nintendo, the AC adapter died in it, right? I was on the phone with Nintendo immediately. I was like, I mean, I was pretty young, like I don't know, 11, 12 years old. I'm like, Nintendo, you got to fix this. I can't play Super Metroid.
Super Metroid.
What is happening?
At least hopefully you called the right line. You didn't call. You called the 1-800 number, not the help, the tip line or whatever, where they charge you $5 a minute or something like that, right?
I think they passed me along to the right person, but I think we had to order it from, because it wasn't as easy as just going and getting the. It was
There wasn't Amazon to go click on and get something.
And I was like, I thought I was gonna die. I was like, this can't be happening, right? And then I go grab my friends and plug this in. I'm like, his is working. Should I leave mine? Should I leave mine? You know, like. So, but then the Wii U, same, like it had power brick issues also. Those things died on the regular. Like the one I'm using, the Wii, I'm sorry, not Wii U, the Wii, the power brick. Like I know a lot of people are like, I would get messaged like, my Wii died. I'm like, go get a new power plug. GameStop has them, you know, and then it'd be fine. So, you know, it just happens. What do you do? What do you do? All right, are we done with news?
I believe so.
We're done with news. Here we go.
Here we go!
All right, so we're just gonna talk. We're gonna talk about Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
I'm very excited to talk about
The
this.
Black
It's
Order.
all I can think about.
So we tried to sell Eric on this like a week ago, and he's like, "Oh, maybe I'll check this out."
I checked it out.
Did you? Oh, you did?
I checked it out.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
I'm hoping
your YouTube clicking was good.
Yeah, I saw the tubes on the U, and I left wholly unimpressed and did not buy the game. Graphically, if you compare it to Ultimate Alliance 1 or 2, it is not much better. You could even argue that in some respects it looks worse than 2. I don't care about that. My problem is the gameplay still looks like an Xbox 360 game. It does not look fun to me. It looks sloppy. And I'm not a huge Marvel fan, you know? Like Josh was saying, I'd be spending my entire time waiting for Batman to unlock.
I'm currently wearing a Batman shirt. If you guys didn't see my Instagram post, I also asked how long does it take to unlock Batman in Marvel Ultimate Alliance, just to see who I could trigger. That's all I wanted, just to see. So, okay, well, I'm going to throw the counter at you because I popped the game in today. I didn't play it over the weekend. I popped it in today. I played it at E3, and I knew at that very moment that it was a day one purchase for me. Like I knew at that point I was already on board with it. I am a big fan of Marvel. That helps a ton because there's 30 characters in here that you're going to play as. So that's, if you're a fan of of Marvel, this is a good thing for you.
With more to come too.
Exactly. And so this is the way I looked at this game because I saw reviews. I went and watched some. I saw what they were talking about. Like they were saying, like, you know, some people were like, this game feels like it's 10 years old. Like it didn't, like they didn't, they just didn't do a good job of modernizing this style of game. And this is the thing. Like all I could think about at that point was how old is this reviewer, right? Because what other games are they into that they're kind of like in a sense comparing this to, right? Now the one reviewer talked about how they did play the other games, and this felt very close. Now, for me, I wanted a game that was close to the other ones. I didn't need something that was like way different. This has a Diablo style beat 'em up. I was actually, when I turned it on and watched like the cutscenes and saw the game, like watched the gameplay here on my monitor at home, I was like, this game looks pretty rad. Like I'm not sure that YouTube videos necessarily do it justice, you know, like, and that could be a factor. This is why I like this game so much. It's got simple RPG elements. There's not a lot of not a
Simple,
lot of,
but the tree is ginormous.
yeah, that's true. That's true. The thing that I'm just so liking about this is a shut your brain off beat 'em up with characters that you know and love, right?
Mm-hmm.
If one of those factors for you is not what you want out of a game, this is not going to be the game for you. Like, it's just not. There's no way around that. Like, I feel like you're coming up against two hurdles with not being a big fan of Marvel, and then two, not loving the what some might say is the dated play style, right?
Yeah, for sure. And you know what the nail in the coffin for me was? Every single review said the same thing. Great co-op game, good co-op game, fun co-op game.
Oh no.
Love the co-op on this game. Can't wait to co-op with people. Let's all co-op together, right? The problem I have with that is that's not realistic. No one's co-oping the Crawler. How much co-op did you play with this game?
I tried it last night.
How long have you had the game?
I got it on launch day, so I've had it. Yeah. So I hopped into Discord and was asking if anybody wanted to play, and I think Colt and I don't remember, Pitt and some other people were in already playing, and I think Cryptic might have been playing as well, but somebody dropped out and they had a spot, and I was in voice chat waiting for them, and I actually got to the last boss fight. I got to the final fight. And so I paused and I went back in and I was playing through. Colt had a bug issue with enemies not spawning in the right spot for him to beat them up and move forward in the story. So he had been playing the opening sequence quite a bit this weekend. And so he was still fairly early in the game. So we were playing on his save file, which is cool. It just drops you right in there and you can pick it up. I don't know if one of us was having issues or if it was Nintendo's issues or whatever, but we got either somebody got kicked out or it lagged. We did see some lag a little bit in boss fights and some other aspects as well. So it was a little rough, but maybe it could be better. One other thing, I guess, for news, I did see, I think Nintendo tweeted it today. We talked about this last week. Voice app in the Nintendo app, they're adding support for that. I don't know if it's live now, but they are adding support. So
good. Eric's gonna jump and go buy
jump
this
in,
game
jump in.
right
Yeah.
now. That's that's what he wanted.
But it's something.
And it is a different game. It's different when you're playing by yourself versus playing. I don't know how it works. Maybe if you're playing 2-person co-op, if you can control one other CPU or if just the CPU takes over. But when you're playing by yourself, you have the control to jump to. You have to use the D-pad and you can jump to any of the 4 characters that you currently have on your team. And then if you charge your ults up all at the same time, you have to coordinate that with people. So you really kind of do need to be in voice chat with people if you're playing with humans. But if you're playing just by yourself with a computer, you just keep tapping double bumpers and everyone will activate their ultimate. And that's kind of the best way to play this game. I enjoyed it more by myself, actually.
Okay, because that's what I'm kind of curious about, because nobody said this game is a killer solo game. Everything I've read is this is a killer co-op game. And it does look like it is now added to the Nintendo app. So is Dragon Quest Builders, Skulls of Shogun, Red Faction, Gorilla Remars, Turd.
They need
also
to scrap
added.
that.
So,
but not Mario Maker.
no,
They don't want you to talk to me.
You don't need to talk to anyone in Mario Maker. You just play their levels.
Maybe when they add the Friends update, that's when they'll add it in there.
Maybe so. I'm surprised. I didn't even know they added that many games that they have.
Last I looked was like
good on them.
earlier this week,
It was,
and
it was 3 games.
I saw 2.
So you have to dig further than that. You have to go, if you want to see the full list, you go voice chat and then supported software. And it'll give you a full list. Dragon Quest Builders 2. I don't know why you would need to talk to anyone in that. Saints Row the Third is on here, which is shocking. It's shocking that Saints Row would be in there, but we couldn't get Payday 2, which needed it. Saints Row doesn't need it. Whatever.
Oh, Mortal Kombat. Yeah, there is a lot more in here.
Hey,
Mario
Super
Party.
Mario Party with all 7 stages.
Mario Aces, Arms,
And it tells you what
Plumber
modes
can
are
talk to
supported.
people now.
Yeah, it tells you what modes are supported. But so that was kind of my question: is this a solid solo game? Am I going to get 20 hours out of this game solo, or is it only going to be a killer app if I have co-op?
Oh, sorry,
I've
not
enjoyed
7
my time.
stages, 4 stages for Super Mario Party. My bad, Pudding. My bad. It's been a while.
They rotate,
launch.
I think. They rotate. But I will say, I've enjoyed my time solo so far. I don't know how much time I've put into it. I've beaten the game. It took me, like, I played a little bit on launch night, a little bit on Saturday night. I was out of my house all day Sunday, so I played a little bit on Sunday night, and then a little bit yesterday afternoon, and then evening, and I beat the game. I did not touch the rifts until I beat the game, which I think could have benefited me leveling up a little bit, and you unlock some characters in different rifts, and rifts get harder. I think there is a lot of challenge to be found in this game later on, because you can go for the S+ ranking or whatever in rift runs where you do it really fast if you're a high level character. The problem I have with this game, I have a few. I think that graphically it could look better. There is some slowdown. I think if you got a lot of enemies on screen and you're activating ultimates and that kind of stuff, there is some frame rate dips. And it does kind of. I didn't play Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2. I did play. I think there was like an X-Men isometric game on original Xbox. I have it in a box somewhere over in the corner, but I did play that one. I enjoyed that one.
Legends? X-Men Legends?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, I enjoyed that one. That was a 4-person, really great. I think I played it in my dorm room in college. So, I think me and a couple of the people on my dorm floor just skipped class for a day and we just played all day long. We beat the game in one day, I think, is what we did. But I mean, so those kind of games can be fun. Like it's, and I've heard this game really struggles with local co-op. It's because of the camera controls and what it wants to do if people separate. The nice
Which is
thing
a shame, because that's where it would be the most fun if you had 4 people.
So I mean, online, if you're playing co-op with somebody else online, it controls just like it does solo. Like the camera follows your character, and other people can be off your screen a little bit. The camera does have issues. Many isometric games that have limited camera control and locked camera points have issues. Especially there's some notable points in ledge drops that you have if you're progressing through a level, like vertically up and you drop off a ledge. There's sometimes things you can miss there, or enemies attacking you, or you try to rotate the camera and it gets stuck in a point where you aren't actually seeing the enemy you're attacking. You can only see like a health bar. There's a few corridors in an early mission that you can kind of get stuck in. But I mean, for the most part, it plays how you expect it to play. It does feel good in your hands. There's pretty simple controls: heavy attack, light attack, and then there's the energy attacks, and then ultimate. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. And it's fun. Some of the energy attacks can be annoying with CPU. Like the CPU could be better. When we were playing last night, co-op. It was interesting to see how fast we took down a boss, even when a lot of us, I was playing and Pitt, I think Pitt was over leveled, but we were both playing on characters that were lower level. And so, but it was interesting to see how fast we burned down the boss when 4 human players are actually like attacking the boss instead of doing whatever the CPU is doing when it's just wandering around. So it is a lot on you, and it's important, I guess, the character that you're comfortable controlling, to make sure that you're doing the damage you need to do, and they'll help control ads and stuff a little bit, but not a lot. And then those energy attacks are dependent on the CPU or another person being next to you, because they have to feed off somebody, and there has to be synergy there. So it's important that you build those teams a little bit. But and then graphically, and then some of those gameplay issues, I guess, a little bit. But then the final thing is like how I felt like I got locked into a team, and for me to progress through the story and win, I had to stay as that team because each character individually ranks up. So you get new characters and they come in later in the game. They come in at a really high level. They're pretty leveled up, but it didn't encourage you to switch. Like I was trying to level up some other characters evenly, and it just became too hard. I was getting into boss fights and losing, and I was having to go back to the shield point and just go back to my default X-Men crew where I was just running Nightcrawler, Wolverine, Psylocke, and Storm like the entire game. And that kind of bummed me out a little bit because I think there could be some fun. And so, I mean, they do want you to replay the game. And I think if I could run through it and skip the cutscenes, and I don't have to go talk to all the Avengers that are standing there wanting to talk to you and give you, it's voiced really well. It's really interesting and good story, I think.
Yeah, the cutscenes look pretty cool from what I've seen.
Yeah, but I mean, Cryptic was talking earlier in chat of how deep the game is. I think the game has some depth, but it's much wider than it is deep, and it's pretty shallow in the sense of it all. It's like there is the trees that you can rank up RPG style with. They're huge, overarching trees that there's a main hexagon and then 6 more hexagons that come off of all those points. There's tons of stuff to add, and it increases your bonuses and health and energy and all that kind of stuff. And there's at the center of each of those 6 hexagons is a special power-up that can apply. It applies to all your characters, which is kind of cool. And then there's these ISO 8 crystals that have different abilities that you can level those up as well. There's multiple currencies in it, like there's credits, and then there's power-up levels for all those ISO 8 crystals. There's lots of stuff in the game, but it could be, I feel like you have to play through it a lot to level. You have to kind of find your character that you want, and then everyone else kind of falls by the wayside a little bit.
So I don't mind grinding when there's a good reason to do it, but so can you just, you mentioned rifts. What are these rifts, and is this something you can do with multiplayer?
You can do it with multiplayer. So rifts are kind of, they're all, you find them in the campaign. They're these like plasma-y kind of things just sitting in the air that you can go examine. And a lot of it in the current level that you're in is like a previous level, either boss fight or encounter that you can do. And there's usually 3 stipulations on them. Like I did like 3 or 4 last night after I got done, because I got done at like midnight, so I only did a little bit before I moved on and went to bed. But there's like usually a time restraint to do it fast and get a star, and do it in a certain way or a certain so like only use energy attacks. I think I saw somebody talking about in Discord today. Yeah, it's pretty much just different stipulations on it. Do it quick, do it fancy to get points and they'll give you the rank A, B, C, S plus, all that kind of stuff. And then there's rewards that are associated with that. And inside there's like 4 tiers of rifts, and each of the tiers have I think they're character costumes that are dependent on how many stars you earn inside those rifts. So they're kind of just alternate skins. Some of them are funny. Some of them are kind of just palette swaps. But yeah, and then there's like at the end of each of those 4 rifts, the ultimate reward of completing them is an additional character. So it's like Elektra, I think, in the first one, Magneto in the second one, and then I don't remember who else. And then there's a surprise for the final rift that I won't spoil for anybody.
So it seems to me, just after listening to you guys talk about it, like, I think one of the things that this game could really benefit from is something similar to like either like seasons in Diablo, where you really work on even just a single character, so that here's what I think I would like to see is if the 3 of us wanted to maybe they have some actual like some legit end game content that you have to have such a high level that when you go in, it's still going to kind of be a struggle for. But whether there's alternate costumes or some different things that like, you know, like that'd be pretty cool to have. I feel like this game could have like, that would have taken it a little bit into the modern genre of games versus the, you know, the 10-year-old style of game that a lot of the different
and I mean, I will say
about.
there is an end game there in the rift. The rifts are the end game.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be, because the 4th tier of rifts, the final boss to unlock the last character unlock is level 65. I think that's what it was. And I finished the game and I played mainly as soon as I got him. I played only as Nightcrawler. That's my highest. Like that was who I played as with my team for the most part. And his rank is 42 or 43, and I've beaten the game. So I still have a ways to go to get up to that level just with that character. And I think I saw somebody say in Discord that the level cap is 100. So I mean, there's
stuff
a lot of room up there.
There's stuff to do. I think the point I'm making is that I would love it if there was some kind of a horde mode or something that was so incredibly difficult that you had like that it really made like, because if once you hit level 100, what now?
God mode, I guess. I mean, there is some of those rifts are kind of horde mode-y. Like there is just spawns and it's like kill 100, kill 200 enemies and do it as fast as you can kind of thing. But I mean, yeah, they all vary. Like one was pretty much do a mission and kill, like one of the stars was like kill all enemies in the mission and do it as fast as you can or something like that. So it's just different. It is kind of Destiny-esque in that sense. Some of those in those rifts where it's like we're going to reuse the content we've already made and just put some spins on it. Like it doesn't have necessarily the modifiers and stuff that Destiny had, but it does have clear like completion goals for you to do, and then you do get that grade. Some people live for going for that S, and I found I thought I did all right with 2 of them where I got S's, and then I did one where I got an S plus. I'm like, oh, there's room to improve, I guess.
Got it. Which does add to the replayability, right? I mean that does help. So I just know, like, if you hit level 100 and you unlocked extreme mode or extreme god mode or whatever it was, and like that could make grinding to that point more worth it. But if 65 is all the higher you have to go, it's kind of like, well, why even go?
Yeah, I mean,
beyond that,
you probably need to go way above that to get the speed records or whatever, or the speed completions for doing that final one or whatever as fast as you can. But yeah, I mean, but can you imagine getting 30 characters up to 100? Like,
no, but that's plenty. I mean, that's a lot of content, right? I mean, it's
a lot of content.
That's
and then they've already confirmed at least 6 more characters, because I think like Cyclops and Colossus and some other X-Men are coming in the first drop, and then there's more coming later. That season pass I think is like $20, and you get everything. Yeah, and you'll have all access to all that. And I think there's a rumor out there maybe that there's more story-esque missions coming with some of those DLC characters. Possibly, I'm not sure if that's true or not.
That's what it seems like, because it's all based on certain,
franchises.
So, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited to dig into this game more. Like, I am excited to play it single player. I'm excited to play multiplayer. Honestly, I'm kind of bummed out about the local, because my uncle and I played through the first one like in like 2 or 3 days. Like we just went to town on it, and it was a lot of fun.
Stay on each other's hip and you'll be right. The camera will stay with you.
Yeah, and maybe it won't be till holidays that we get to do it. So maybe it'll get a patch or something by then. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for episode 228. Eric, where can people find you?
You will find me in Discord. Join the community. Lots of great people joining all the time. N64josh.com/Discord. You'll also find me on Twitter. And yeah, you'll find me here once a week, whenever we do it. Hopefully Mondays, if schedule permit.
Crawler, how about you?
You guys can find me, like Hate said, in the Discord, hanging out. Hit me up. We'll play some Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I got at least a few more days of that in me before I'm gonna dip my toe into Fire Emblem, and we'll see how that goes. So another distraction to come along, but yeah, hanging out in Discord. So we'll definitely get some games in. Hit me up, and that chat's been pretty lively there. So lots of different games to discuss if you're wanting to. And then you can also find me on Twitch and Twitter at Nightcrawler724. Nightcrawlers without the E.
There you go. Guys, you can follow me on Twitter at N64Josh. You can follow the show at NPowercast. The show notes for this episode, n64josh.com/NPC228. You want to email the show? NPC@N64Josh.com. If you'd like to get yourself a free book from Audible, head on over to audibletrial.com/NPC. Pick up something awesome like Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. The chair I'm sitting in from OPC. Go to N64Josh.com/OPC to automatically save $10 at checkout. I do a Patreon if you want to help support the content I create, and check out just the pop culture podcast that I do. The first episode of that is actually going to be coming out very, very soon. And so that's patreon.com/N64Josh. We got the store if you want to get a t-shirt or a coffee mug or a leggings or a baby onesie, whatever. You can go to N64Josh.com/store. Check out the different shirts available. Like these guys said, the Discord, come hang out. Facebook group, N64Josh.com/Facebook group. A lot of good people over there as well. And yeah, just remember, guys, we're gonna be just kind of cutting back a little bit. I just want to recharge the batteries. I'm gonna focus on this new music project that I'm doing called Until Today. I really am hoping to start doing gigs and things like that. I do want to give you guys the update that GoFundMe is set up. If you go to N64Josh.com/GoFundMe, you can help out just a family that definitely needs some help right now. So do appreciate that. So thank you guys for listening, for watching, however you consume this. We do really appreciate it. And yeah, there'll be a short episode next week, and then we'll be back the following week and starting to get more interviews and things like that, so it should be good. And yeah, we'll see you later. Bye now.